Hey, what's going on guys? John here. Today I'm going to show you some of the most used shortcuts in Premiere Pro that I use on a daily basis as a professional video editor. These save me a bunch of time and it'll definitely help you if you're getting started in Premiere Pro or want to learn a few ways that you can save time with these shortcuts. So let's dive right on in here. So obviously the first shortcuts you'll want to memorize when you get started here in Premiere Pro is the tools. So the selection tool, razor tool, these can be found in the tools menu. If you hover over them, you can see the keyboard shortcut that's listed to the far right of the name of the tool. So for example, like selection tool is V, track selection tool is A, rolling edit tool is N, razor tool C, and you can change these to whatever you want. For me personally, I just leave them alone. That way, if you're working with other video editors, it's very common that it's the same shortcut. The second thing that I want to show you is paste attributes. So this is probably the most used one I use when adding effects to clips. So for example here, I have a sequence, and what we're going to do, we're going to turn off this layer for now, and say on this clip, we want to make it black and white. So we'll add a tint. And by the way, if you want to easily add effects, this is another shortcut within a shortcut. If you double click on the effect inside the effects panel, it will automatically apply it to that clip. So you don't have to drag and drop it on the clip. All right, so say we have this black and white clip on this clip, but we want this clip, and this clip to also have that same effect. An easy way we can do this is set up a shortcut to paste attributes of a clip. So this isn't set up for you, you have to do this manually. So to get to the keyboard shortcuts, go to Premiere Pro, keyboard shortcuts. And obviously there is a shortcut to get to the shortcuts, which is Option Command K on a Mac. And then in the search bar, you'll want to search for paste attributes. And you can see I already set up mine. An easy way to remember it is Shift V, because it's like Command C and then Shift V. So once you have that set, you can make it whatever you want, click OK. So how to copy the tint effect, if you just click on the clip, you hit Command C, and if you go over here, select this clip, if you hit Shift V, which is the keyboard shortcut I created, you'll notice Paste Attributes window pops up. This will paste the motion, opacity, time, and then also that tint effect. And you can uncheck, say if you only want tint but not the motion opacity, you can choose which ones to copy and paste over. So in that case, we'll hit OK, and then that's there. And this is very easy because you can just select multiple clips, hit Shift V, and then even Enter, and just automatically paste a lot of the same effects from one clip to another. So that's how Paste Attributes works in Premiere Pro. So the other thing, we talked a little bit about effects. Now, how do you automatically add transitions? Say if you want all of these clips to just have a crossfade in between them, instead of going to the effects panel and finding, typing in cross, dissolve, and then like just adding it in here manually to each one, there's actually a simple way that you can just auto add cross dissolve to all of these clips. So we'll undo that, and the default for Premiere Pro is actually Command D. So we'll just hit Command D, and you can see that it added a cross dissolve between all of the selected clips when I pasted that, when I used that shortcut. And another note I want to add to the transitions is you can actually change the default time that the transition lasts. And to do that, you can go to Premiere Pro Preferences, Timeline, and right now the video transition default is set to 12 frames. You can change it to like 30 frames, click OK, and if we undo all of this and then redo it, you'll notice that the transition is a lot longer now. The next keyboard shortcut I want to show you is called Match Frame, and this is very helpful if you have lots of clips on your timeline and you just need to go back to the source monitor and reselect, a different part of the same clip. So let me show you what I mean. So say we have our sequence here, we have 4 clips, but say on this one, we want like a different point in time in this clip. And instead of like, dragging it up, trying to find a different point, you know, like this, what you can easily do is just go to, click on the clip, click F, and it'll bring up in your source monitor, and with the in and out points of whatever is on the timeline. So say you can, you know, zoom out, zoom in, and select a different part of the clip to use. And what you can do is just right click and replace with from source monitor, and it will change that duration with whatever is in the source monitor. The next shortcut I want to show you is called enable and disable. I use this all the time if I have a 2-camera shoot or something that's over a video and I want to easily hide, unhide, but it's really more than hiding and unhiding. You're disabling it from the timeline. So this one you have to set up manually. So if we go back to our keyboard shortcuts, you'll just want to type in enable, and this is the one. So right now I just have the 0 key. You know, that's my preference. You can use whatever you want. And say we have this whole clip here with this overlay. If we just want to see how it looks without it, we can just click 0 and it disables it. The other way to do this is to right click, go to enable, and then uncheck it to get back to that. So it saves that 2-step of right clicking and then finding it and going to it. Basically, a lot of the right click and go to things you can set up keyboard shortcuts for. So if you right click and you often use something here, you could probably search for that in the keyboard shortcuts and set up a custom shortcut for you to use in your projects. So, you know, as video editors, we work on a lot of different projects. So just find the actions that you do most often and develop shortcuts that benefit you the most on the specific projects you're working on. Another one I want to show you is something I often do as a video editor, and that's change the duration or the speed. And the default, I just left it alone, but the default is Command R to get to that. So Command R, and you can easily get to this menu. Likewise, you would right click and go to speed and duration. So that's another example of a nice, easy shortcut to get to that menu. All right, let's talk a little bit about the timeline and how to navigate quickly through the timeline. So there's a few different shortcuts I use all the time. One is to jump to the beginning and end of a cut with an enabled clip track, with an enabled track selected. So for example here, we have these little boxes. When they're checked, it's blue, and then if you hit up and down on your keyboard, you can kind of go through the different cut points on that track. But say if it's not, and you try to up and down, it's going from based on the audio, or even if this is selected, it will only go to the up and down of those points. So that's an easy way if you want to surf through the timeline to enable that track and then go up and down, and you can easily navigate through your timeline. So another thing I want to show you is to reposition these. Say if you want to easily just move all these clips up 2 tracks or down 2 tracks. What you can do is hold down Option up and down to move tracks, which is very easy and saves you time instead of trying to just add a track or marquee and like move up and down manually. You might accidentally move something out of sync with music or dialogue. So this is an easy way to just select and move up and down precisely clips to different tracks. So you can kind of see how that works. That's Option up and down. And that's pretty much it. The last shortcut, obviously, I'm going to show you is to export, which is just Command M, which is always an easy way to just get to the export dialog box. Another cool feature in Premiere Pro, if you're looking for even a quicker, I guess it's just a 1-button click, but in the top right is the quick export button, which I covered in my last tutorial. But this is a nice new feature in Premiere Pro where you can easily export clips. So that's pretty much it. Those are the shortcuts I use most often in my projects. So I hope some you can take and use in your projects. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and share it with people you believe that can benefit from this. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.